何人もの人がその力を次へと託してきたんだよ。みんなのためになりますようにと、一つの希望となりますようにと。次はお前の番だ。頑張ろうな。
What up, heroes? Red Dreaded Entertainment. What up? My name is Akasan. How y'all doing, Akasan? We're back again for another reaction here. We have some difficulties though, as I just got one of my channels terminated. Not the main one, but YouTube, the Vimeo, which kind of sucks because that was. I feel like I'm going through some plus ultra type issues now with. Vimeo giving me some problems, not allowing me to provide you the videos you deserve, whereas really annoying to see other not happening to other channels. Well, I don't want it to happen to other channels, but it's just kind of weird. It keeps on targeting me because I'm black man in Japan. That's why they don't want to see us do good out here, man. Anyways, we're gonna figure out that drama. I have other things I need to do with Shingeki no Kyojin starting up really soon, so I want to burn through these episodes a little bit more and get this out the way, so it's not so much. I don't know when you'll get these videos, but at least, you know, Patreon's gonna at least get those full reactions, so maybe that's enough for now. I'm stressed. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. This is your latest episode. Here we go, episode 50. Here we go. Copyright, copyright. They're gonna copyright my black ass all the way to oblivion. When I first started YouTube, I was so close to react to this and react to that, but now I just can't do shit.
絶対心配させない。先生、息子をどうかよろしくお願いします。もっと遠く遠く遠くまで飛んでゆけ。
Okay, man, during the episode, I was trying to figure out some form or fashion how I could explain to you what that feeling must be like, or what I'm like feeling, basically. I guess so for those of you that don't know, I currently live in Japan. I've been living in Japan for about 8 years, and a good amount of that time that I've been here in Japan, I've been a teacher. So as I've said from the beginning of the season, one of the main things I like about this show is its teaching aspect. It's the how it relates to not just the student side of working at a school. Is there any bonus material? Oh, get out the rap!
実に醜いあがきだった。経験も憎悪も開墾も全てを糧としろ。次は君だ。
He just did the same thing. The pointing thing. Next, it's your turn. It's so crazy how All For One mirrors All Might so much. Then they both have, from what I remember in the Legacy, they both have similar powers, right? With like similar powers, right? They both have similar powers, but All Might's version that gets passed down is pushed together like in one giant form, whereas the other one is a bunch of different quirks that he can just take, where I'm gonna have to go back and get the full detail on that, because that's why All Might's so powerful, is his entire quirk is like, I don't know. Okay, anyways, so the key point of this episode was, I guess, the best way I can explain it is when you're working with particular students, particularly kids, younger kids, you essentially end up, you every once in a while talk with the parents. Sometimes every day, or every class, sometimes once a semester or so, like that. And you just talk with them and give reports on the students, how they're doing, how they're growing. So when I used to teach kids, this situation happened a lot where essentially some parents were really easygoing. They were like, go for it. Other parents were more reluctant and really strict, and like they said, monster parent, like a monster parent, like that. But every once in a while, you actually get parents that really care, like Midoriya's mom, Izuku's mom. Midoriya's mom really cares about him, but doesn't really trust the parent, the teaching system and the way that, and I've had that happen several times with previous establishments that I've been in. They liked me as a teacher, but they didn't really like what the establishment or the instructors or the administration was doing. And we've had situations like that where it was hard for me to go outside of the building, the establishment, but I've gotten offers for like private teaching and things like that. And then even when I moved, different prefectures are like, for those that are know the channel fairly well, you might remember the big announcement a few years ago. And when I left and I moved back to Tokyo, I still actually keep in contact with a lot of my kids, those kids that I was teaching, through their parents, and you basically become like a surrogate parent, a surrogate father or a surrogate mother, and you watch them grow up. And some of those students, like Midoriya, they grow up like idolizing you and like all your accomplishments. I still have students that hit me up on the YouTube channel every once in a while, and they're just like, hey man, I'm just letting you know you were the greatest teacher ever. And I only teach them for like 2 or 3 years, but it sticks with them. So you know, like Toshinori, is that his real name? Toshinori, All Might was basically saying, is like, you are just giving a piece of your life to help teach them, to help raise them and put them in the right direction. And it reminds me a lot of my own mother and my own people back home in LA, who never really liked the idea of me moving to Japan. They never really liked the idea of me changing up my life and completely coming to another country, because they couldn't watch me, they couldn't look over me and make sure it was okay. Particularly my grandfather, I've mentioned this many times, check out my plaque video. When I got my plaque, I talk about my grandfather a lot. They never really liked the idea of me moving to Japan, but they really wanted me to still be happy and follow my dream of being independent. And this episode touched upon that a lot, actually, especially through All for One, what Nomura mentioning and such about how a teacher's dream, a teacher's goal should be to make their student independent and such. And I think my mother has kind of come around to that now, and has really, if I come back to LA, I come back. If I don't, she knows that I'm still pursuing, I'm still in the path of being the best type of person that I want to be. Because sometimes it's not all in the cards, staying in one area. So, wow, that was a rough episode. Like, I like that episode more than I like the previous one. Because, well, I'm all about the action. Like, I like action. I like how that works out there. There's still... It's the fallout that I always think is more interesting. The emotional aspects of certain things is a lot more interesting. Which is why, in some form or fashion, I personally thought the previous episode was not as good as Season 2's Episode 10's Todoroki Orchid. Because I feel like we didn't have enough time to really build up on the emotion. I really felt like... although I really liked the episode, I still felt like they should have given more time to give us a backstory on All Might's mentor, and giving us a flashback episode to help build that fight a little bit more between All for One and One for All, right? I personally feel that that's the way it should have been done. Like, there wasn't enough content between the two, emotional build-up, whereas the Todoroki versus Midoriya fight had so much build-up on both sides that you were really emotionally invested in both characters. And so that's why I still feel like at this point in time, episode 210 is the best episode. The second best episode would have to be this particular, for me, this particular episode. This was more emotional. This got me a lot more. Yeah, what do you guys think? Red Dread Nation, stand up, speak up. I'm fucking sweating in here. It's humid as hell. I don't know how I can have a cooler in here and it still be so goddamn hot and I'm sweating. It's the emotional tears. My body's getting so wet. Special thanks to KR Presents for editing these, even though we have no idea every fucking day where YouTube and Viacom and Vimeo and all that shit is going, but somehow we're gonna get this content out to you the best we can. All right, till next time, guys. Plus, I'm so I'm like All Might now. We don't even have like the power anymore. Deku, you gotta give me something else, man. I mean.